and we are in our last week of the SmackDown, week 6, which is our spiritual nutrition week. And I just wanted to sit and have one of the last little chats and just give you kind of some food for thought today on food and how that affects us walking out our life's purpose, and how that affects how we minister to others, how we express the gifts that are within ourselves, and how weight and how body image and our body relationship really does affect even our own vision and version of ourselves, how we allow ourselves to express who we are and who we're created to be, and even sometimes how we're completely disconnected to who that really is. We are physically dependent on food. God created us so that not only would we need food, but that we could enjoy food. Eating food should be a pleasurable activity while we're also fueling our bodies and receiving nutrition from it. But food has served our shadow side very well over the years. You know, scripturally, it all started in the garden. That was the first generation that experienced food as a stumbling block, and it happened right there in the Garden of Eden. Esau then sold his birthright for a bowl of stew. The Israelites tested God in the wilderness, demanding food that they craved, and on it goes. Can you believe today that food has overtaken smoking as the #1 preventable disease? The problem comes in when we become emotionally dependent on food to cope with everyday life. When food becomes the source of joy and comfort, it becomes an addiction that traps us and holds us in bondage. And an unconscious but common mindset among those on a spiritual journey goes something like, I don't drink or smoke or gamble or insert any other common addiction there, so I feel I have the right to eat. Plus, there's nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, look, everyone else supersizes, everyone else drinks, everyone else goes to the all-you-can-eat buffet. And even take your traditional potluck gathering that has been one of our trademarks for group fellowship. Unfortunately, the potluck, or really any other family or friend gathering around food, has gotten out of hand and actually packed the pounds on our body to kill, steal, and destroy our health, our mental strength, our emotional stability, and our connection to the divine. We pray day and night for healing in our bodies, but we refuse to pick up our cross of our out-of-control eating. We have refused to discipline ourselves and have filled our minds with the trash of the world. How can we then go out into the world and be a light, showing, serving, inspiring, and empowering others when we ourselves are locked in bondage and addiction? I mean, we can talk about freedom with our mouths, but we don't display it in our lives. We don't really know true freedom experientially because we ourselves are slave to our fleshly desires and habits, even up until this very moment. We cannot walk out our soul calling, live out our life purpose out loud when all we can do is get to our next fix. There is a saying, and I don't like the saying very much, but it's out there nonetheless, and it says, the devil wants you to be fat. Why is that saying out there? Why would they say that the devil would want you fat? It is not so that you'll feel uncomfortable in a swimsuit necessarily, but instead so that you'll hide from people and become isolated. It's also not so that you won't look pretty in your dress or your favorite outfit, but so that you'll cry every single morning and stop going to gatherings altogether, missing opportunities to worship, learn about yourself, learn about God, and learn about the brothers and sisters around you, and definitely in order to miss being able to minister to others with the gifts that only you have been given. Is it because the devil would like for you to prefer Oreos over apples? No, it's because you'll begin to drown your sorrows with food rather than nourish the one and only physical body that you've been given. the one physical body that houses a soul, that has a purpose and a life to live. But then we'll be so busy numbing it out that it'll never live that purpose. You'll be too tired to exercise and then so focused on yourself that you miss life-altering moments and precious memories of being active and enjoying life and being present with your kids and your family and your friends. You'll become too self-conscious and begin to build walls around your sweet and tender heart and refuse emotional intimacy with anyone, especially the one who created you and knows you best, meaning your spiritual connection to God will suffer. Why do they say the phrase, the devil wants you fat? That you will possibly be intimidated to talk to and interact closely and deeply with, in certain situations, with other women or people who are thinner than you, or who look better than you, or who you deem as being something else other than you. So it brings in even more of the us versus them, that separation mentality, so that you'll be so focused on yourself and your own perceived unworthiness that you will miss opportunities to speak life and empowerment and identity into other women, men, and children who need to know their worth. And they need to know how amazing they are and how wonderfully they were created to be. And with all of that said, no one person is alone in the struggle with food. It is written as a stumbling block throughout the generations, yours, mine, and all of the generations before us. You have entered into this program, into my program, into this Weight Loss SmackDown, and if you have gotten this far, and I know each one of you that has, you have committed to change and to growth. Do continue to pick up that cross. Walk your path and do the things that only you can do. Use the tools that you've been given. Use what I've introduced you to. Do the work. Don't give up. Even when it seems like things are not working, or even when it seems like you're not making progress, keep peeling back the layers until you get the results that you need, until you start seeing life abundant in these areas that right now you feel oppressed or suppressed in. Then go and share your freedom story with others. It's all about leading them to the light. Show them their worth, setting them and yourself free at the same time.